Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to the big news. The topic for today's discussion, Morbi Bridge Collapse. Before we understand what this article is in greater detail, a quick gentle reminder. BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS is already on Telegram. If you have not yet joined the channel, please do join so that you get all the current affairs related updates. Let's get started and look into this topic. What is the context? 90 drowned in Gujarat River as suspension bridge collapses. Where was this suspension bridge constructed or built? This is across the Machchhu River. Where is this Machchhu River? We have one of the cities in Gujarat called as the Morbi city. This Morbi city happens to be a 18th century city that was established by the rulers of the erstwhile Jadeja dynasty. The city of Morbi is on the Machchhu River. So remember, the Machchhu River is a river in the state of Gujarat whose origin is in Madla Hills and has a maximum length of about 130 km. So this hanging or the suspension bridge is over the Machchhu River. Morbi Bridge happens to be a long pedestrian bridge built during the British rule in India in the 19th century. As you can see from the image, this happens to be the Morbi Bridge. It is locally known as the Julta Pool. This happens to be one of the major tourist attractions in Morbi, and this place also happens to be an industrial town with loads and loads of factories which are into making of the ceramic tiles as well as the bathroom products and wall clocks. Who is in charge of this particular bridge? When we look into it, the bridge is owned by the Morbi municipality. It has to take care of this particular bridge as well. This municipality had recently entered into a contract with one of the private firms called as Oreva for the maintenance and its operations. So this bridge is in Gujarat. It is under the control or owned by the Morbi municipality, and this municipality had recently entered into a contract with a private firm for the maintenance and operations of this bridge. However, what we have currently witnessed is the collapse of this bridge, and as a result, in an unfortunate incident, many people have passed away. Many people have been injured as well, and this is the time to reflect on this unfortunate incident. What are the causes of the bridge collapse? When we look into the major causes of the bridge collapse, the bridge was jam-packed at the time of the accident as many people had come due to the Diwali vacations. If you look into this particular image, what we will see is large number of people who are present on this particular bridge. So there is overloading as well, and at the same time, the time of the accident also coincided with the immersion of the Chhat Puja idols as well. So in this particular place, ideally these many people should not have been present on this particular bridge, but because large number of people were present, many people were also in the middle section as well. They were trying to sway it as well. Some youth who were present on this particular bridge also started to shake the bridge intentionally, making it difficult for the people to walk. It is in this particular backdrop the bridge has collapsed is what we understand on the prima facie evidence. This raises couple of concerns as well. What are these concerns? The first is, why did the local authorities allow so many people onto the suspension bridge in the first place? They know for the fact that this particular bridge does not have the capacity to withstand so many people on the bridge. Why did they give permission for so many people to go onto this suspension bridge? That happens to be the first question. The second major concern is in terms of the contract. We did discuss that the municipality had entered into a private contract with one of the firms. This bridge was not operationalized for a very long time. It was only for the past few days it did open up as well. Even before opening, what they require is a safety certificate that had to be accorded by the municipal corporation. But in this particular case, this certificate, safety certificate, was not given by the corporation or the municipality, and despite not getting the safety certificate, this private company has gone ahead and opened its operations. What did the government do immediately after this tragic event? The Navy, the National Disaster Relief Force, Air Force and Army arrived at this location. More than 200 people worked the entire night for the search and rescue operations. Three Indian Coastal Guard teams consisting of divers, equipment, boats and other materials have also been deployed on the site as well, and more than 40 doctors from various health centers did come up to this place. And after the collapse of the bridge, the municipal corporation rescue materials including life jackets reached the Morbi city, and they also started the rescue operation. We have the Prime Minister office which also announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh from the Prime Minister National Relief Fund for the next kin of each of those who lost their lives in the mishap in Morbi. The injured would be given about 50,000 rupees. Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel announced ex gratia of 4 lakh for the families of those killed and rupees 50,000 for the injured. The Gujarat police have also been given the power to file the first information report under IPC sections 304 and 308 in the bridge collapse tragedy. Why? Because this is because of the negligence of the private company. So an FIR has been filed against the company as well. Meanwhile, we also have the Gujarat government which has also appointed a 5-member team. This team of bureaucrats and police officers will now look into why the bridge collapsed. So they will come up with a detailed report and give it to the government as well, so that the government in the near future can make use of this report and ultimately prevent such occurrences from occurring. There have been similar such incidents that have taken place elsewhere in India. This happens to be a suspension bridge that was built over the Machchhu River. There have been other examples where bridges have fallen. If we take the previous such examples, it was in 2016, a flyover in Kolkata partially collapsed onto a busy street, claiming the lives of at least 26 people. In 2011, at least 32 people were killed when a bridge packed with festival crowds collapsed about 30 kilometers from Darjeeling. These are some of the incidents which have occurred in the past. What are the reasons for the collapse of these structures? The lack of maintenance of the bridges over the years. Whenever there is a construction of a bridge, this will require periodic maintenance. In India, when we look at the bridges, some of the bridges were built during the British period. It has a lifetime of 50 years. Some have also had lifetimes of 100 years. These will have to be destroyed or demolished, and new bridges will also have to be constructed. But in number of cases, the periodic maintenance is not taking place. When you consider this situation that happened in Gujarat, this also happens to be a British constructed bridge. This was ideally had to be maintained, it had to be renovated, and if required, it had to be demolished, and a new bridge will also had to be constructed as well. But in the present situation, that was not done so, and the maintenance that was done was also of not quality. In fact, they had not even taken the safety certificate from the municipality. And in many bridges, substandard material is also used for the construction as well. There is use of faulty and substandard material, and at the same time, there have been ad hoc and temporary steps that have been taken, and they are not addressing the root cause of some of the issues that are persisting in the bridge. In fact, corruption is also one of the root causes of the poor quality of roads and bridges in India. The quality of the material that is used is substandard as well, and these bridges that are constructed may collapse over a period of time. What are the measures that the government will have to take? As of now, there are existing gaps in the bridge maintenance. The government, the state government, the central government, and the local authorities will have to fill up the gaps in the bridge maintenance. We have to identify structurally deficient bridges. Let's say if it happens to be a British constructed bridge, or there is a bridge whose time period is for about 100 years, 200 years, so on and so forth, these will have to be identified. If they have become structurally weak over a period of time, such will have to be identified immediately, and all the required maintenance will have to be met. In case there is a bridge which is half century or even a century old, then what we have to earmark is funds for the rehabilitation, strengthening and overhauling of this particular bridge. What we have is the financial crunch as well. So whenever we identify such bridges, what we have to provide is the resource allocation and the funding. So what we have to look for is that the government can also work with the private companies. They can also work on the PPP based models as well, so that they can overhaul or revamp this entire bridge structure. And finally, what we require is a central oversight of this entire structure. We can make use of the modern satellite systems to monitor bridge deformations, and ultimately we can seek the expertise to better maintain bridges across the length and breadth of India. What we have to prioritize is the safe mobility of the people, and if we do not prioritize so, such undue events, unfortunate events, will continue to haunt the country in the near future. So, all that the government will have to do is prioritize the lives of the people. It should not be a reactive approach but a proactive approach. Only after an incident happens, the government does take number of steps. But even before an event happens, what we require is a proactive approach where the government takes measures to bring an end to such undue events. It is this that we have to understand with respect to this article. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.